Maybe my principal was right. I shouldn't have brought that much fire into a classroom. Maybe I shouldn't have jumped out of the window in the middle of a class. We use reflection all the time to look at what we've done in the past and then improve the things we do for the future. It's a really important skill that we need our learners to have. So how do we reflect in a project-based learning classroom? My name is Ryan Stoyer. Welcome to PBL Simplified for Teachers, where we simplify your PBL need-to-knows so we can simplify the PBL process for your classroom. Reflection's often a step that we all say is really important, but then we skip it so we can make sure we can stay on track with our curriculum map. So 2 mistakes happening right there. 1, if it's important, we should make sure we're doing it. 2, reflection shouldn't just be at the end. So you're not just skipping it to move on. It should be something that happens throughout a PBL unit. So how do we do that? So you can start reflecting at the very beginning, because we can actually reflect before we start the PBL unit, in the middle, and at the end. So what's it look like at the beginning? At the beginning, this could be a part of your entry event, or as you're looking at need-to-knows, you're trying to figure out what's the prior knowledge that your learners have on a specific topic. So I happen to love Post-it notes. So you can do an affinity map where you take all these different Post-it notes, you give your learners as many Post-it notes as they can, and they put one idea per Post-it note. What do you know about this topic of DNA? What do you know about first responders? What do you know about geometry? Whatever that is, whatever your PBL unit is, they start putting these pieces on there. And as they're doing that, they're reflecting about what they already know about your PBL unit. So now you're reflecting before you even started. Great job. That's fantastic. And you can find these protocols in future videos. We're going to hit some protocol videos with PBL Simplified, but there will also be some resources down in the description. What about in the middle? How do you do this in the middle of a PBL unit? You really want to be transparent with the learning and how your learners are learning. Like, how are they doing research that's effective? How are they interacting and giving feedback? Because the how is sometimes more important than the content, because they can use those skills. They're transferable to your next PBL unit and when they're out of school. So how do you start to do that? It can be as simple as, I love to use these ULEAD cards. If you go to ULEAD, you can find those. And they just give you ways to quickly create groups and start to ask some questions. So you have all of the dogs get together and they can get in a group and just do a quick I like, I wonder session, right? Let them reflect on, what did you like about this unit so far? What do you wonder about moving forward? So find ways to get some feedback from learners and also give them a chance to look at how are they learning. So then they can find those things that they can grab onto and do more of those. And then reflection at the end. That's something we're pretty used to. You've got a lot of different ways you can do that. You can do fishbowl, you can do focus groups, you can do more formal pieces of writing. You can have them write about their driving question. We have some facilitators that love that protocol. So you have this driving question of, how can we help local nonprofits create better marketing and get their word out? And then you have the learners actually just write about that. And you can start to see how they input the different things that they've learned throughout your unit, which is a really fun way to do it. You can have them create videos, PSAs. There's a lot of different ways. At the end, just want to bookmark right here the idea that it's super important that we're reflecting on the learning and how we're learning so that those skills can be transferred. So we're going to try to reflect at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end of our PBL units so that we're constantly coming back to how we're learning, not just what we're learning. So today we've simplified, how do we get our learners to reflect during a PBL unit? Big shout out to Attaboy for the music at the beginning and end of this video. You can check them out online at Attaboy Online. In the meantime, make sure that you engage your learners, tackle boredom, and transform your classroom.